call in faith to shadow me through your hallways. New echoes you can feel and rehearse the way you hear.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy the SLAP Train, and welcome guys to something brand new on the channel. This is going to be tandem tuning. That's going to be the first episode, and if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you guys slap that like button as always. Let's try to get this to at least 500 likes, and obviously the more likes, the more push per episodes per series. So today what we're going to be doing is we have the beautiful Cobra 427 in here, and what we're going to be trying to do on this thing is actually getting this ready to do some tandem drifting. Now if you guys don't know what that is, obviously trying to get as close as possible to each door and doing certain sections as we're doing so. So if you guys watch, my Tandem Kings, these are the kind of things that I do before, going into something like that and really just getting the car ready to slide and being able to, hold some nice lines and keep it consistent and keep it, nice and, I guess what's the right word I'm looking for, fluent or anything like that. So right off the bat, what I usually do with every tune, I drive them as it is. You want to know how the car feels before you actually, start tuning it. You don't want to start tuning it when you don't know how the car feels. So we're going to give one lap here, or one little section run, see how it runs, and we're going to kind of give, our thoughts and opinions as we go. So let's get this going right here. Now when you're doing this, you can see, gear ratios, you can see, how the car reacts, how it twitches. You can see a lot of things by doing this. Okay. So the car is very, very grippy. Okay. Front end's very loose. You can feel it. And we got a little bit of oversteer right now. So. Woo! Look at this thing. This thing gets swirly and actually does a lot of oversteer in these higher gears. So, I mean, you can see this thing is not the most easiest thing to drift in the game. I mean, it's very, very stiff. Alright, let's not hit the wall, though. I don't want to hit the wall, though. Appreciate it. Alright, so what we're going to be doing, if you guys didn't know, this is the TX Thrustmaster Racing Wheel. If you guys want to pick one up just like this one, it's a great wheel. It's in my description box below, and that is where you're going to be able to find yours. So right off the bat, I always usually go with, a lower tire pressure, usually about 27 or so, and that's going to, take away some of the tire pressure and give the car, a nice flatter surface. When you're seeing that front end, really kind of wiggling, the tires are a little bit too, I would say, over pressure when they get hot. When they get hot, the pressure goes up. So when it's at 30, it's probably at more like a 35, and that's pretty damn high for drifting, for sure. Gear ratios, I think I'm going to maybe extend these just a little bit. Third gear seemed a little bit too short. We kind of got to third gear a little bit too easy. So I think this is going to help it out a little bit. In terms of camber, we're going to do a little bit excessive on here and, play and see how it does with the excessiveness. And then if we need to take it down a little bit, we can do so very easy. Now toe, usually the way that I do my toe out usually allows you to get more angle. So you want to kind of give it, anywhere from about 1 to 1.7 or 2. Nothing any higher or lower than that. Then you kind of get outrageous. Front caster, I usually leave at about a 6. And from here, gentlemen, we have the roll bars. So what we're going to be doing, as I said, the front was a little bit stiff. Or, sorry, it was a little bit loose. We're going to go ahead and stiffen both of these actual roll bars on here. And in turn, we're going to loosen up the front suspension. So we have a very tight, rigid body, but with loose springs. So the car's going to be able to kind of stay where it needs to be, but it's going to absorb a lot of the bumps. And that's really what we want it to do. So we're going to just kind of move this down a little bit. Ride height, we don't want to go too low that it bottoms out, but just enough. I usually do one click above actual low in order to get the car the way I want it to. Same thing with the rebound stiffness. We want a nice soft suspension. We don't want it too hard, but we don't want it too soft as well too. So that's a good spot to kind of play around with it. Me personally, for brake balance, I go a little bit to the rear. Reason being is when I am driving, I find that it's easier to kind of keep a consistent line. And I usually do my pressure anywhere from about 110 to about 120. Differential, I always do 100% on either. And let's see how that figures it out. Alright. So, this is attempt number 1. And we're going to stop this episode when I feel like this car is good enough to really slide with everybody else. Now this thing has 650 horsepower. It is a lot of horsepower for what it is. A little e-brake initiation. Here we go. Let it take off on its own. A little bit of throttle control. Ah, there we go. We still have that oversteer. So we want to eliminate that oversteer. So we're going to take it back. Look at that third gear, man. That third gear is very, very short still. Alright, so what we want to do now that we know that it's still oversteering, we're going to take away the tire pressure just a little bit. We're going to stretch these gears out a little bit more. And we're going to also take away from that negative camber slightly. We're going to tone this down just a little bit, 1.5, 1.2. And we're going to turn down this toe just slightly as well. Let's see how this does. Although I do like the roll bars feel really nice and smooth. They feel good. Oh shit. Feels like I can consistently hold the car. Hold that outside. Ah! Alright, maybe second gear is a little bit better right here. Oh, look at that. That rear end just kicked right out. So, thinking what we can do right here. What I may do on this, we're going to loosen this up just slightly. I feel like it's not giving enough forgiveness on the suspension. And it's literally just eating it. And it's just throwing it right out. So we're going to stiffen this a little bit as well. And I think we're going to just slam the rear end on this thing. Give it a slight little rake to the front. Nothing too crazy, nothing too extravagant. But we are going to stiffen this whole suspension out a little bit. I don't think we have any aerodynamics at all. No, we don't. Okay, that's fine. And that is it. Okay, so let's give this a shot. Hopefully this works a little bit better. Alright. Now you never want to start your drifts mid, section. Usually when I drift, I like to start at the very start and go all the way to the very end. When you kind of screw up mid-drift, you get frustrated. You don't want to get frustrated when you're drifting. Drifting's about being very, very smooth, being finesse, and just overall enjoying it and having fun. So, when you're getting mad, you're not doing yourself any damn good. Ah, come on now. Don't have as much camber in that front, but we had a very bad initiation right there. We're doing about 55 around this corner. I really want to be able to do more. I'm really liking the actual stiffness of the car right now. The car feels good. The only thing right now I'm thinking of is a little bit more camber on the car. Now, we're not going to do too crazy because we don't want to overdo it. But I think that will be just enough to start to get this car really going. Let's give it one more shot here. Let's try this. And we're going to start off in third gear for the initiation. Ah, there it goes. Okay. So, with that being said, we're going to turn this down a little bit more. We're going to allow the rear tires to kind of kick out. And hopefully, in turn, those fronts will support the backs. There we go. See, we're starting to hold something right now. This is a very, very oddball car to drift. And I know some people do drift it, and they do just fine with it, and that's great. But everybody's different. Everybody's tunes are different. So really, I don't want to see any comments, saying, oh my god, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. It's my build. I don't really care. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys can definitely give me some tips and some pointers, but I don't want to see any kind of hate speech in here or anything like that. Oh my god, though. Alright. This car has a lot of horsepower for the actual weight of this. That is what we're looking for right now, gentlemen. Very smooth. That thing looks like it's going to be pulled. Uh-oh. Shit! We're good, though. We good. Canada Rocks is still visible. But, I mean, look at this, though. It's very, very smooth right now. We can hold some solid lines. Here we go. Throttle down. Transition's nice. Look at the damn angle, gentlemen. Woo! I am happy with this right now. Done. Done, gentlemen. This is the final tune right here. Here we go. So tires are at a 25 in the front, 27 in the rear. Speed, you guys can follow the gears. If you want to pause it, by all means, do your thing, boo-boo. Alignment, we have a negative 1.3 in the front, negative 2.1 in the rear, with a 1 out on the toe, and a 6-degree caster. Anti-roll bars, we're at a 29.50 and a 22.26. Springs, 475 to a 400. Ride height, we did give it that little bit of a rake look to it. Dampening, soft, 6 on the fronts, 5.1 on the rears, 7.1 on the fronts for the bump stiffness, and 5.9 for the rears. And we couldn't touch the aerodynamics, so that's fine. And for the braking bias, 38% to the front and 115 pressure, or sorry, to the rear, sorry. And diff, obviously, we're locked at 100. So that is going to conclude this build of the Cobra 427. And I'm going to give you guys a quick little look at the car, how it looks with all the stickers on it and everything like that. We're repping Tandem Kings, Driftworks. Oh my god, gentlemen, this thing is a monster. It really is, and it feels great. And if you guys want to pick this up, I will put this tune on my storefront if you guys are too lazy to actually put it in. Not a problem, I'll throw it up there for you guys. But really, I'm happy with the build. And, you know, this series is just mainly showing you guys, you know, how I tune my cars. Because I don't think you guys have really seen, you know, how I tune my cars. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that are wondering if I even do tune my cars. Or, you know, if I get people to tune them for me. No. You cannot get someone to tune your car. If you're doing that, you got to understand, you know, the basics of tuning. You got to understand what you're doing. So here we go with the engine right now. So straight off the block right here. So we're running 641 horsepower, 670 foot-pounds of torque, which is huge. That's why we kept on getting that oversteer. And we're weighing 2,300 pounds. So it's quite a bit. We are supercharged, and we do have the sport positive displacement supercharger in there. We didn't put the race in there. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. So as I said, if you guys did, make sure you guys slap that like button as always. If you guys want to see this car in some tandeming action, make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys very much for watching today. It's your boy the SLAPTrain. I'm out. Peace.